Hello, welcome everyone. We're going to give it about one more minute here. Good morning, good afternoon. Thank you for joining me today. You're only going to need a chair today. That is it, and maybe a mat for the floor. But no other equipment needed. Small class so far. That's okay. More people will pop in. We're going to give it just about 30 more seconds and we will get to it. Here's some more people trickling in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, y'all. Let's get this party started. Welcome to Sit and Fit, everyone. I'm Coach Adrienne. Thank you for joining me today. Hello, Nolia. Good to see you. So today's class is all about core. At Exos, we call our core our pillar because it's all connected. Shoulders, midsection, hips, hip flexors. It's all connected and it's really our foundation of all our movement. So it's so important to strengthen our core, whether we're walking, whether we're sitting. It's just going to keep us safe. It's going to make us more productive. It's going to make our performance better. It's going to make us all around healthier and stronger. So we're going to work on that core today, but it doesn't mean we have to use heavy weights. In fact, it's a myth to use those heavy weights because oftentimes what happens when we're doing, the stomach machine where we add really heavy weight and we're crunching, sometimes what happens is it just builds muscle underneath our fat. So we don't want to do that. We don't want to worry about any weight. We just want to use our own body weight right now. And we've talked about having that neutral spine. Holding our neutral spine throughout the day is really going to strengthen that core more than anything else. So we're going to do a real quick warm up standing, and then we're going to go ahead and get in our chairs. So lengthening our spine here, we're just going to stand about shoulder width apart. Clasp those hands overhead, really, really lengthen your spine here, and we're going to go around the world. So we're sweeping the floor with our feet back up to the ceiling, and then we're going to take it the other way. So this is just loosening up that whole midsection, our shoulders, our torso, our hips, like we just talked about. Each time go a little lower to the floor, a little higher to the ceiling. Let's go one more time each way. Try to keep those hips square here. Nice work. Now we're going to take the seat of our chair, and remember, any old chair will do. This is just a dirty old card table chair. It'll work just fine. We're going to plant our hands on the seat of that chair. We're just going to do some cat-cow here. So we're going to finger our belly buttons to the floor, chin up, tail up, squeeze your shoulder blades together, drop that belly button to the floor. You're going to feel a nice stretch in your hamstrings here as well. Give me a nice deep breath in. As we exhale, we're going to draw that belly button up towards the ceiling, tuck your chin, tuck your tail. And then do it again. Sink it back down. Zip those shoulder blades together. Chin up, tail up. Inhale. Exhale. Round that back up. Tuck your chin, tuck your tail. Protract those shoulder blades. And one more time here. And draw it all back up. Awesome work. All right, guys. We're going to have a seat and we're going to get right to this workout. So we're going to start with some basically seated crunches here. So we're going to sit at the edge of our chair, feet flat on the floor. We're going to take our arms out. Hands are about parallel to your shoulders here. We're lengthening our spine, trying to keep it neutral. And we're just going to hinge back, tap your shoulder blades in the back of your chair, and then right back up to that straight up position. We're going to stay here for 1 minute. Doesn't seem like much, right? You just wait. So keeping those shoulders relaxed and trying to keep those arms straight in front of us. So we're also going to get a little shoulder work here. We're going nice and easy on this one. We don't want to go fast because then we're just using momentum. We're using that core strength. And again, keep going. We don't want to round like we just did when we were doing our spinal mobility. We don't want to do a round or an arch here. We want to maintain that neutral spine so that our abs are constantly working here. This is a great modification for those of you that don't like to get on the floor and do crunches. I'm already feeling this in my core. We are engaging that whole area that we just talked about, our whole pillar here. Nice and easy. That's already starting to burn. And make sure you're breathing here. Just give me a couple more. Nice job. All right, from here, we're gonna hone in on those obliques. Our obliques are the side of our abs. So we're gonna take one leg and we're gonna kind of put it to the side here. Other leg, plant it forward. Pick a leg and just kind of do like this L shape with your hips. That arm is gonna go behind your head, just one. Opposite arm just can kind of hang down, or you can also anchor yourself to the bottom of your chair here. We're gonna bring that knee up to meet our elbow. So it looks like this. Depending on your flexibility, you may be able to touch your knee to your elbow, but maybe not. Just do the best you can. If you can only maybe just lift it off the ground a little bit, that's okay. But our whole point is we want to kind of bend and then extend. So right off the bat, you're probably feeling that hip flexor work, right? But again, it's all connected. So we're going nice and easy. We're not going for speed here. Slow and controlled, and just really work on that range of motion, because this is going to be dependent on your hip flexibility as well. So if you have super tight hips, maybe you can only bring it off the floor a little bit. That's okay. But if you can get it all the way up and touch that elbow, you're doing even better. This is all about practicing and progressing as we go. I'm starting to feel those obliques now. One more. Good job. All right, let's take it to the other side. Walk that foot out, make your L shape with your hips. Working hand goes behind your head, other hand can go under the seat of your chair or just let it hang. And then we're going to bring knee to elbow. So we want a little bit of a bending motion here, kind of like a side crunch. And then remember, we're extending, practicing lengthening that spine at the top of the movement. And right off the bat, I feel the hip flexor work first. But then it doesn't take long, and I start feeling those obliques working. Slow and controlled. Again, you choose the tempo, but we're not going for speed here. Couple more. All right, nice work. From here, we're gonna bring those knees back and front. We're still gonna work those obliques. But this time, sit way at the front of your chair here. Lengthen your spine again. This time, opposite of the working side, hand goes up. So we're going to be bending down and going as low to the floor as we can. Now, I can't tap that floor unless I move forward a little bit. We don't want to do that. We want to go completely to the side. So pretend like you're in a toaster and you're going to just kind of slide your back against a pretend wall behind you. We don't want to move, we don't want to hinge forward. We want to stay parallel here and just go down as far as your range of motion will allow. Now this time, you're going to feel it in the opposite side of the side that you're working, if that makes sense. Again, we're lengthening on top, really feeling the sides of your torso. We're getting a lot of spinal mobility here too, which is also very, very important. If you have tight backs, if you have any back pain, practicing this core work. Specifically, you can do this stuff at your desk all day long. We're just using our chair. But this is going to help you from keeping that stiffness, from getting that back pain. One more. Good. We're going to take it to the other side. Lengthen. Other hand goes down by your hip. You're in your toaster here. And just going down as far as your range of motion will allow. We're trying not to kind of have that sassy hip to the side. So try to keep your knees square. Try to keep both feet planted on the floor. And just nice and easy, big lateral bend here. You may feel that nice stretch all the way down into your hips too. Nothing wrong with that. We're getting a lot of flexibility today too. Not just core strength, but flexibility as well. Keep it going. About 3 more here. Nice, slow and controlled. Good. All right, from here, I'm gonna show you this one from the side. And we got a couple different options. These are our knee tucks. So you can either sit the bed at the edge of your seat and really lengthen your spine here. You can anchor yourself from under your seat, maybe hold on to the back legs if you want a little bit of a tilt here. But again, we're not rounding, we're not arching. Whichever option you choose, we're keeping that spine neutral. From here, knee tuck, we're either gonna lift those knees off the ground just a bit, maybe an inch or so, and drop them back down. So you're gonna feel that lower part of your abs working, also your hip flexors. Another option, this is a little bit more advanced, is you're leaning back and you're resting your shoulder blades on the back of your chair. You bring those knees into your chest and you're gonna drive them out. You can also bring them all the way up and tap them on the ground, but a little bit more range of motion. So you're gonna feel a little bit more ab work, a little more flexibility in those hips, or a little bit of strengthening hip flexor work. So here we go, we got 1 minute. For all these exercises, we're not going for speed. We're slow and controlled, owning each position. Put my hands out here for even more support. Already feeling that core work here and hip flexor work. Remember your options. You can just lift up an inch. That is okay, especially if you're just starting out. Maybe you are recovering from a back injury. Maybe you're just starting out. There's nothing wrong with just modifying in the beginning and progressing throughout the weeks. Drive it up nice and easy. Keep it strong. We're almost there. 5 seconds. And time. All right, from here, wiggle it out. Feeling that core already, aren't you? All right, from here, we're going to do an isometric hold. So again, we have different options. Same positions that I showed you before. You can be straight up, you can anchor yourself, and you can lift those knees off the ground, but you're going to hold. If that's a little bit too much, maybe just lift your heels, bring them up every once in a while, and try to hold them for maybe 5 seconds, and then bring them back down. You can rest those shoulder blades, bring your knees up as far as you feel comfortable. Maybe that's all the way up into this position. Maybe it's closer to the ground. Whatever position it is, make sure you're not arching that back because it's real easy to do. So you almost want to push that belly button towards the back of your chair and kind of create a C curve on this one, just to make sure you're not arching your back and kind of using those hip flexors instead. All right, here we go. Lift those knees to the position that feels good to you. And don't forget to breathe here. A minute is a long time. So maybe break up the monotony, maybe hold it, like I said, for 5 or 10 minutes, and then bring it back down. Take a breather, relax, refocus, reset, and do it again. I am feeling those hip flexors already. Don't forget to breathe. It's easy to quit breathing or hold your breath on these isometric holds. Really concentrate on pushing your belly button through your spine. So making that C curve, like I said, just to make sure you're not arching that back. Breathe. We're almost there. 15 seconds. We got this. Another option is to tap one at a time. You're going to get a little bit more oblique work that way, but it makes it a little bit less challenging. 3, 2, 1. Come on down. Nice work. All right, we're going to go into our planks. Everybody knows how to do a plank, right? Well, we're going to use our chair this time for a little modification. So here's your options. You can use the seat of your chair, just like when we did our push-ups. We have a straight line from our shoulder to our hip to our heels. Our butts aren't up in the air, and our hips aren't sinking low. Straight line, vacuum sealing those abs. We're gonna hold this for 1 minute. So if this is a little too much, come on down to your knees. You can do the same thing. You can use that chair on your forearms. Maybe if you have a little wrist arthritis, just concentrate on keeping that body straight. Again, butt shouldn't be up. It shouldn't be sinking down. So pick your poison. Get in that position. And hold. So again, a plank is an isometric hold. We want to make sure that we're breathing. Be aware of the position of your body. You can't see yourself in a mirror or something like that. I can see myself in the video, but every once in a while I'll check myself and I'll be doing this kind of deal, or I'll be doing this kind of deal, and I have to readjust, reset, and get in that straight line. So just make sure your body is straight as a board. You don't want to squish your peach. In other words, pretend like you have a peach in between your chin and your chest. You don't want to drop that head. You also don't want to have it hyperextended. So even your head is in a straight line with your shoulders. Hold, hold, hold. Oh, I'm feeling this, guys. I'm feeling it. A minute is a long time. 10 seconds left. Keep it up, keep it up, keep it up. 3, 2, 1. Nice job. All right, now I'm going to show you a couple of progressed and advanced options in case you are a little bit more advanced in your core work. We're going to head to the floor, but we're still going to use the chair. And I'm going to show you options if you don't feel comfortable getting on the floor. I know a lot of you are just recovering from injuries, or you're just not quite there yet. So, or you're hurting from arthritis or something like that. So getting on the floor is not an option. But if you can't get on the floor, we're going to do regular, good old-fashioned crunches. So we're just going to elevate our feet. So you're planting your calves, resting those calves on the seat of your chair. We're pushing our belly button through our spine. So there should be no space between your lower back and the floor. Hands are going to go behind our head. You have a pretend peach in between your chin and your chest again. So you're not squishing your peach. Your arms are just there to support your head, but we're not pulling at our neck. As we crunch, we're going to lift, push that belly button through the floor, and down, slow and controlled. A lot of people do crunches like this. You're really not doing much. So we really want to go slow and controlled and concentrate on pushing that belly button through your floor. If you can't go to the floor yet, I want you to do the same thing that we did in the beginning. Arms out, but I want you to slow down as slow as you possibly can. That's just a seated crunch. All right, so pick your option. We have 1 minute. And go. So I don't even need my hands behind my back. They're really just helping out so I don't strain my neck here. But I'm making sure that I'm not pulling my neck. I'm letting my abs do all the work here. Slow and controlled, really pushing that belly button through my spine. Making sure there's no space between the lower back and the floor. Breathing. We exhale on the way up and we inhale on the way down, which is also a very, very challenging thing to do to concentrate on. But with a little work, it kind of becomes second nature. Exhale on the way up, inhale on the way down, exhale on the hard part, inhale on the easy part. Keep it up, we're almost there. Give me 2 more. Good job. All right, from here, we're gonna go into some oblique curls. We're gonna keep one leg up on that chair. We're gonna drop the other leg beside our chair. We're gonna get our opposite elbow towards that knee that's on top, and we're just gonna really twist. So we've got some rotation here. We're getting that whole shoulder off the ground. You're not gonna be able to get it all the way up to touch that knee, but we want the opposite shoulder to stay on the ground, or almost opposite elbow, and then our opposite shoulder to really lift and lower. So we're gonna feel those obliques again. If you're not in that down position, this is another one you can do seated in your chair, sitting at the edge of your bench. Opposite elbow, bring that knee up to meet your opposite elbow. It's basically doing the same thing with a little bit of less stress on that lumbar spine. All right, so we got 1 minute each side. You choose. Here we go. Again, slow and controlled. We're owning that top position. Getting a little rotation at the top of that movement. And then bringing it down nice and easy. Again, we inhale on the way down on the easy part. And exhale on the way up. You almost want to hold that top position right there, boom, if you can, just for a second. Same thing goes for if you're sitting in your chair. Let's do 2 more here. Excellent work. Let's take it to the other side. Other leg goes up. Rest that calf on your chair. Opposite leg comes down beside your chair. This elbow stays glued to the ground. Opposite shoulder comes off the ground. Nice and easy. Here we go. 1 minute. And back down. So you're not really leading with the elbow here. Sometimes I catch myself just like really doing this and folding my arm. That's not really doing much. We want to keep our elbows almost in a straight line from each other and really get that whole shoulder blade off the ground. So get up as high as you can here. Lower down nice and easy too, so we can get that eccentric motion. We don't want to use momentum to kind of flop down. We just want to control as best we can. And hold. We've got 2 more good ones here. Nice work. All right, our last exercise, we are going to flip it around. This is a challenging one, but I'm going to show you an option while you're seated as well. So if you're a little bit more advanced, these are called scissor kicks. We want to, again, glue that lower back to the ground. There should be no space between your lower back and the floor. I like to use the legs of my chair or the seat of my chair for a little bit of an anchor here. You could also sit on your hands for a little bit more support. Legs are going to go out 45 degrees here. Keeping your knees straight, we're going to scissor kick or flutter kick, making sure that lower back doesn't come off the ground. That's your most advanced way to do it, most advanced level. You can also, if you feel that lower back coming off the floor, you can shorten your levers. That's going to take pressure off that lumbar spine, but you're still going to be feeling that ab and those obliques working. And then, of course, if you can't get on the floor, if that is not an option, you could do that same movement in your chair, either resting your shoulder blades on the chair or sitting up straight, legs up, flutter this way, or shorten that lever, flutter this way. We always have options, right? Whatever feels good to your body today, that's the one I want you to choose. We've got 1 minute. And here we go. Let's finish strong. Pushing that lower back into the floor. Breathing. I'm feeling my lower back come off the floor a little bit. So I'm going to shorten my lever and I'm just going to practice pushing my belly button through my spine. I'm still feeling it. Still feeling those hip flexors, still feeling those obliques, and definitely feeling those abs. Breathing through it. Keep it up, keep it up. We are almost there. Any option you choose on this one is going to be a challenging one. Push yourself. 20 seconds. We got this. All right, 10 seconds. Finish strong. Do your best. No quitting now. 5 seconds. 2, 1. Awesome work. All right, if you are on the floor, you're going to roll yourself up. We're going to get back to our chair, and we're just going to do a quick stretch here. So back to our seated position. Cross one leg over top. Put your hand on the outside of that top knee, and then you're going to twist that body, bringing your chin all the way over your shoulders. So you're going to feel this nice stretch all the way down to your hip, T-spine, chest and shoulders, even up into your cervical spine. And this is just a stretch you can do when you're sitting at your desk. Sometimes I hear a little pop in my back when I do this one, and it just feels good. Unwind yourself, take it to the other side, hand on the outside of that knee. Make sure your spine is lengthened here. We don't want to be folded over. And then bring that chin over your shoulder. Good, and then from here, we're just gonna hang into ragdoll. So just decompress that spine, let your arms become heavy, let your head become heavy. If it feels uncomfortable to kind of bend forward like that, you can stand up and go into ragdoll as well. So it's just a way to just kind of relax that spine when you're all bunched up and it's all confined all day. Roll up nice and easy, head comes up last. Big inhale up, fill those lungs with air. Exhale, blow it all out. There you go, y'all. I will send you that video for reference. Thank y'all for joining me. Here's your nutrition trivia question of the day. Because we're talking about core. Sometimes cruciferous vegetables can make us feel bloated, even though they're very good for us. They're full of vitamins and nutrients and fiber. They do sometimes give us gas. They sometimes bloat us. So speaking of our bellies, that's what this question's all about. Which of the following is not a cruciferous vegetable? Broccoli, cauliflower, celery, or Brussels sprouts? Which do you think is not a cruciferous vegetable? Broccoli, cauliflower, celery, or Brussels sprouts? Throw it in the chat if you want to take a guess. Anybody else want to take a guess? You're right, guys. It's it's celery. It is celery. So kind of the flowery vegetables, broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, those are the ones that are cruciferous, even though they're very good for us and they're full of fiber and, like I said, lots of nutrients, they can cause bloating. So if you are having issues with bloating, watch how much you're eating. Make sure you're not eating super fast. I mean, I love all those vegetables, so I'm never going to stop eating them, but I do find sometimes they make me a little bit bloated. But celery does not contain any cruciferous in it at all. It is basically just water. So there you go. All right, y'all have a wonderful week. I will see you next week for our last class, which is sit and sweat. We are going to sweat a little bit. Thank you. Have a great day, guys. Thank y'all for joining me. Thank you. Oh, hi, Carla. Again, I never know when you're going to pop in. Good seeing everybody. Thanks again.